All right, and we are live. Hey, hi, and hello, everyone. This is Ray Lockdust here with Rush Kazi. I said it's Kazi, not Kazi, right?
Honestly, I don't know.
Oh,
I,
amazing.
I say Kazi, and then my sister says Kazi, and my parents say Kaji, and it's whatever it
Okay,
is. It's,
okay. It
yeah,
was
I'm
one of the things
Kazi. So,
where, yeah, I was confident in it until I said it, and then I was like, oh, I should have asked, and I was right and wrong.
yeah, no, you went with the pronunciation that I would use, the one that I used at school to make it easy for teachers, and also my preferred pronunciation. You know how people have preferred pronouns, like mine's like my preferred last name, I guess. I don't know.
That makes sense. The preferred pronunciation. My mom's family is Italian, and like they have like three different ways to pronounce her last name, and I can't do either of them because I have a speech impediment. So, and I said either for three. So, what is
Yeah, I get it. Like my last name is technically an Arabic last name, and
language?
my parents are from Bangladesh, and Arabs have a Z sound or like, a Z sound in their language, and Bengalis don't have that. So having an Arabic last name going through the filter of being Bengalicized and sounding like Bengali already changes how the word's supposed to be pronounced, right? So then it got Canadianized afterwards because I was born here. So I don't know how to pronounce my last name. There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
a little get to know you,
Mm.
and we know less and more. So that's
Yeah, I'm an enigma wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a shirt.
yeah. Well, I think that kind of behavior and mindset really goes with the theme for tonight's discussion, which is polyamory. Because
Right.
why make a decision?
It's not about being serious and sober. Is
No, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's just the title of the show for reasons unknown.
I am sober today, so this conversation
Oh,
might feel weird and jilted, but it'll work. I'm
yeah.
trying this thing, this sobriety thing for this week.
Oh well, good job. I guess this was like a good week to book you then.
Yeah, it was a coincidence. That's why I was talking about the diet thing. It's just like I'm trying to do like a Bernstein sort of diet approach just to lose the 10 pounds I recently gained. I mean, everyone gained their quarantine 15 like early on in like March. Mine happened within the last couple of weeks, and I was like, okay, I need to do something drastic to lose it. So just cutting carbs and drinking, all the fun, cutting all the fun except for kisses from the puppy, which worked out. Okay, you're getting my
Yeah, the
lipstick.
sweetest of all.
This is Loki. Loki, look over here.
Loki. Loki, a troublemaker.
Yeah. Yeah, named after the god of mischief for a reason. Or maybe it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like I named him after the god of mischief and then he became the god of mischief. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's kind of like, if you name someone a Kyle, you know how they're gonna turn out.
No, actually I don't.
Oh,
Kyle's
oh God,
very
I
on the
just
spectrum. They're so
oh
different.
oh God,
Yeah.
I find there are two Kyles. There's like geeky nice guy Kyle and upfront punching walls Kyle.
There's more. There's more. There's too many Kyles. My husband's cousin is a Kyle and he's like cool and fun and you know, just gets it. So it's like, I don't know. Ugh.
I do have bias against Kyles, so you know.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
But that's all about therapy, not polyamory. Actually, Kyle was my first polyamorous relationship and almost ruined polyamory for me because he sucked.
So you use Kyle the way most people use Brad or Chad, is what I'm getting.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I instinctively should have used Chad. Like I am literally in a show called Make Karen Great Again, and the whole show is like I'm Becky, my sister's Stacy, my stepbrother's Chad. Like it's just like it's based around those stereotypes. And I was just like, well, I'm not gonna say that obvious thing.
Oh, but then
So
we got into the weird
yeah.
Kyle debate, Kyle 2020.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a hate mail from Kyle now, but that's okay.
Which Kyle though? Does your Kyle watch this show?
Oh God, that considering I had to block him on everything, I hope not.
Well, then you'll be fine. I don't think he's gonna make his way in.
Yeah,
How's your
and
quarantine been, by the way? I know it's supposed to be an
oh
interview, but let's just make it a conversation. How have you been?
yeah, I'm good. So I have throughout this quarantine, I started quarantine ending like a very toxic, gross relationship with Kyle's best friend because why learn a lesson? And so that was awful. But then I also began quarantine with two amazing relationships. So I've like everyone is like finding like all these sad like things about themselves, and I'm like, I love this quarantine.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I started off, like everyone knows, I was seeing someone and he decided to take better care of his mental health. So he like broke up with me soon after that, because I mean, probably a smart move if you've really ever spent any time with me. It's not the worst thing you could do. I'm not the healthiest for your brain. But yeah, so there was that. And then like like dating during quarantine is difficult, right? Because
Hmm.
like you can't go anywhere, and like as you have seen floating around, my husband is here, so I live with him. And how do you internet date with your partner just there? It's like we don't have a 2-bedroom place. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. Thankfully, there's a bedroom, but it's just like there's not really much privacy, if you will. So
Yeah. Yeah.
polyamory
Like
has
my
been hard to do uh, during this time
mhm.
because the world is forcing all polyamorous couples to become monogamous for disease-related reasons. Like it's just yeah. So
That's the real plan behind COVID.
yes,
All
awful.
those other conspiracies are bullshit. This is the real one.
Yeah.
Uncovered right here.
I mean, yeah, the government wanted to change all the batteries in the birds and make polyamorous people monogamous. That's obviously the two main reasons. And there are a lot of birds that they got to change the batteries in. How else are they going to fly, right? So it's been
Yeah.
taken away.
Otherwise, birds just don't make sense. What makes them go? Their feathers?
They're hollow bones? Sure, buddy.
Sounds like a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I have 12 questions for us. So we are going to go ahead with the magic die, using my super rainbow one, which is too shiny to be shown, but you'll just have to take my word on it. It's adorable.
I believe you.
Thank you. All
I believe
right.
you. I believe in you. Roll the dice.
All right. Let's go. Number 11, starting high. All
Ooh.
right. Oh, so since you're polyamorous, what just stops you from having a crush on absolutely everyone you see, like especially me?
Okay, the last portion, I'm not saying, you can't really answer that. Like, who says I don't have a crush on you? But what's stopping me from having a crush on everyone I see? I still have vision and like a standard, right? If we're gonna be very superficial, that's what's stopping me. Also, sometimes you can be polyamorous and just have no sex drive. Like, you could be an asexual polyamorous person, or at least that's what I tell people when I don't want to boink. So that's a thing too. Like, I don't know, just
Hmm.
like not feeling it. Well, consent is real, consent culture is real, and just sometimes you just don't want to do anything other than just cuddle your stupid dog.
Yeah. I I feel that. My cat's pretty much a puppy who is, just to prove me wrong, is not present right now, but is usually constantly present and screaming. There are a lot of videos where he interrupts me.
This guy is a perfect little Ewok.
Oh,
I think that offended him for a second because he stopped licking for that 1 second.
yeah, I don't like that reference.
Yeah,
Bring me back to God.
All right, let's roll the dice. Let's see what
All
we have.
right.
Yo,
Ooh,
check out these
number
roots.
2. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's
And
real.
yeah, but the thing is, like, the roots were like up to here before, Like I've already dyed and bleached my hair during quarantine, like 2 times.
Yeah, I rage quit.
Yeah.
Or I ray quit. Oh,
That works. That's your thing now.
yes.
All right.
All
Hit me up
right.
with another
So,
question, Ray. Oh no, you're
all right,
frozen.
polyamory and swinging. I'm
Sorry.
frozen. Or okay.
Let's try that again.
All right.
Let's try that again.
What is the difference between polyamory and swinging?
Huh. Polyamory, you establish relationships with other people and you're encouraged to develop these relationships over time. It's not necessarily sexual right away, just like regular dating shouldn't be sexual right away. I mean, it can be. I'm not going to yuck your yum, do whatever you want. But it's got more of a stability and again, you're developing relationships. Whereas with swinging, I think you're just going somewhere and banging someone new and everything is fine. Whatever you want to do is great. It's just, I think that's the difference, but I could also not know.
Yeah,
I have been using. And Loki, stop eating the Christmas tree. Get over here. Sorry, my daughter's trying to eat the Christmas tree.
Loki.
Yeah, he's be on his face.
Yeah. I did Google it, so you are right. Swinging is essentially boinking. It's like it's more of like lifestyle sex over like lifestyle relationships.
Yeah. And I feel like there was a bit of a swingery vibe that my husband and I had for the longest time, and more recently it switched to the polyamorous side.
Yeah. I had my second polyamorous relationship, or technically third, whatever. Numbers don't exist. Yeah, so they were pretty much someone who they essentially wanted to just swing, and I was just like, oh, but I catch feelings, like throw a rock and my heart is with it. And they were just like, oh, well, I'm just going to control who you fall in love with then. And I was just like, no.
That doesn't sound like swinging or both.
Yeah.
That sounds like it was a horrible thing.
Oh yeah, it was temporary is what it was.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh, so this was a two-parter. So what is the difference between someone who is polyamorous and a serial cheater?
Oh, come on. Are you serious? Okay. This is a question. You obviously
this is a question you get asked.
Oh, this is an awful question. It's like, well, the difference between polyamory and a serial cheater is that you have the consent of all parties in polyamory, whereas with cheating, you're cheating. Like, do I have to? I mean, it's bad form to use the term that you're trying to describe in the description of itself, but it's just like cheating is like there's no rules involved there. You're just going out, like if you're monogamous and you just go off and start boinking someone else, you didn't go into a relationship, in a plural relationship where everyone is on board and agreeing to the same thing. Like that's no.
Yeah.
You could also cheat in a polyamorous relationship. It's possible, and it's also bad. It's just like if for whatever, not that every relationship has rules, but like if your relationship has decided on a certain set of rules, and there's like certain people where you're like, no, I do not want this in my polycule. Like my husband and I are each other's primaries because we're married. We live together, obviously, so we do have like a hierarchical sort of polyamorous relationship, but we are each other's number one. So like we get to veto other people if we need to, or if there was, if there's for whatever reason there's a need to. So if you're running off and like hooking up with someone on that list, or like the person that you're not supposed to, then that's cheating. And cheating behavior goes with that sort of stuff, because like if you're not allowed to do something, most people will try to hide it. Whereas with polyamory, you're not hiding it. You're very open about what you're doing, and communication is key. And you need to communicate very well to, make sure you're not overstepping lines or hurting anyone's feelings.
Absolutely.
People have feelings, Ray, like you said.
Yeah, I my forced catchphrase on this show is "Don't be a dick," because that is the golden rule.
It is a very good rule at that.
Yeah.
For the golden rule.
Everything boils down to it is just like religions. Don't be a dick. Like I think that's just the best one. So I'm just going to continue on from there. Like, this isn't anyway. Yeah. So yeah, cheating bad, polyamory, communication.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, like, I've heard people try to say like if you are say person A gets in a relationship with person B and they're monogamous, person A starts having a relationship where they are in love with person C. That's still not polyamory if person B is not consenting. Like,
Yeah,
it just, like,
obviously.
people, like, this is like an actual thing that I just feel the need to clarify, because I have heard that said, where it's just like, oh, well, if you are in love, then it is polyamory, because that's like, it's more love. And it's just like, yeah, but it's not a consensual polyamorous relationship, which means you're being a dick.
Yeah, I think they're being very literal if they're trying to say that that is polyamory in the sense that you are in love with more than one person. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can be more in love with more than one person and not be in a polyamorous relationship if you're just feeling that way and keeping it a secret and not even expressing it to the other person that you're in love with. But that's just like stuff that soap operas are made of before they
Mm-hmm.
start blinking each other. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, so maybe in like a very like literal sense, it could be polyamory, but the way that we're using it, the type where it's like a lifestyle and a culture, it's obviously not
Yeah,
relevant.
exactly. All right. So for you personally, what would you already kind of touched on what the hierarchy. I literally cannot physically say hierarchical, but you know what
You
you know where I'm at. Hierarchical. Anyway,
hierarchical.
you hierarchy. Anyway, you already mentioned having that style of relationship. And so it comes to your ideal polyamorous situation, including like future stars in the like star in your eyes like situation. Like, just tell me a story.
Of what? Like, I'm
I
not
don't
really
know. I'm so sorry. That was like the worst way. Basically, I realized you already answered this question as I was reading it, so I tried to make it an extra question and made it
Let's
nonsense.
just skip this question and go to the next one then, if I've already
That's
unintentionally answered
that's so much easier than me being like, "Tell me your dreams."
it. So she's like, I don't really understand this new question. Stars, eyes, what?
That's just me trying to glamorize things now.
Ooh, are
Oh,
you?
all right. So, um, does being polyamorous automatically make you a slut?
Yes, no, maybe. You know, I don't know. I mean, on my Facebook profile, it literally just says "I love friendly sluts." Sluts, anyone can be a slut. You can be a slut for anything. The word "slut" has been taken back, and it's not a negative thing anymore.
Yeah.
Slut shaming is frowned on. Not 2000. You know, people have things have changed. Things have changed. Now you could be polyamorous and not a slut, and you could be a slut and not polyamorous. I mean, it's a really hard question to answer. I think it's up to each individual person to decide if they feel like they are a slut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my final answer.
I accept. Yeah, I threw that question on just because like it's something I hear is kind of like a lot of polyamorous people will kind of like play with the idea of like even myself, like I call myself a slut all the time, and that is a huge part of reclaiming it, because like I did used to I went to a Catholic school and would be called like a slutty schoolgirl, so it became like something I was uncomfortable with because gross. But so now I've like I've reconnected it to a part of me embracing myself and my sexuality. And for me, it's just like being a slut is part, like, for me, my sluttiness contributes to my polyamory, but they aren't like correlation and causation aren't the same thing.
Right.
I'm a slut and I'm polyamorous, but I'm not polyamorous because I'm a slut.
Right.
Yeah, kind of like my girlfriend is a joke of just like where you get like as a polyamorous person you get asked, you probably get this as well, where you get asked like oh, I bet you have like group sex, and it's just like oh yeah, well, it's like not about the group sex when it comes to polyamory. Like, yeah, obviously we dabble, but because it's just like it's not like you don't like you don't have to be involved in a triad or a connection or group activities.
Yeah, like I feel like I did more group things before I was polyamorous than I did after I've identified as someone who's polyamorous, to be completely honest. I think with polyamory there's a lot of more one-on-one connections and developing relationships. Whereas with group things, it's like whatever, just stick something into something else. It's we're all here to have a good time, but not really know that much about each other. Yeah, so things have things are different. It really depends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, this
Again,
is quite a distraction.
That's okay. All right.
What number are we on? You just rolled the dice.
I did, and so we are on number 4. So different types of polyamory.
Ooh, okay.
So there are the 4 main types. Offhand, without studying, do you know them?
Nope.
Okay. I'm just honestly, I would have just been like impressed and been like, good, that for you. I'm glad that you read the articles that exist.
Yeah, I'm not too deep into the literature. I just sort of like do it, but yeah.
So the 4 common types of polyamory are, we have the primary partner plus others.
That's us.
Yeah. So the hierarchical. Like, I'm not even exaggerating it. Like, that is my genuine attempt.
Here. Let me try to help you. Say higher.
Higher.
Just say higher. Say arc.
Higher. Arc.
Ickle. Like the word pickle without the P. Hierarchical.
Hierarchical.
You did it!
Thank you so much. Hierarchical. Wow. So we have number 1, the hierarchical. Wow, I honestly like if you heard that in my the tremble, I was expecting not to get through it when I started saying it.
You did it.
Wow.
You did it.
I'm like literally having an emotional response because I haven't struggled with a word in so long, and I just did it publicly, so that was a cool thing, I guess.
And you got through it, and you got over it, and you figured out how to do it. Now you know how to say it.
Yeah. Thank you. That was something I didn't expect to happen today.
A lot of wonders, man. Quarantine.
Yeah, wonders on Wednesdays. All right, so we have the hierarchical relationships where you will have the primary relationship as Rush and her mister, whose name is Brian?
Jeremy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just say a random white guy name. Next time you just like Kyle.
It works. Yeah. The first thing you ever said or that I remember that you said to me anyway was at Joke Shop when I did a joke about my cishet white boyfriend, and you were just like, I got one too. And that was just like when I was just like, I like this. And that was just like a funny moment of just like you were just you may have even actually said it of just like I don't really have anything except for me too, yo.
That did sound like me.
Yeah.
I feel like that was exactly it. It was just like, I just want everyone else to know. Same.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. Oh, God. I mean, what was I saying before that? ADHD is not a fun thing. Hierarchical. And then we have your hierarchical. That's why I got thrown off, because I was just like, where even am I in this? I'm in the hierarchical part of the interview. So we have the hierarchical relationship where you have a primary set of partners. Sometimes these can be in a triad. More often than not, it will be just like nesting partners who focus in each other, and then they will have, as already veto powers or not. That is, again, up to the individuals. And because like I have been people who are just like, veto powers don't make me comfortable at all, because unless it's like a legit reason of just like that person hurt me, it's like a thing of just like I just don't like them. That's Eh. So then we have the group approach, which is where you get terms like the polycule. So these are more people who are like you'll have like a group house, people who are like on and off kind of dating each other. Like you'll have like Brad, Tim, Simon, and Courtney, and they're all kind of dating, and they all have different levels of relationship. There's the group relationship. There's one between Simon and Courtney, and then Brad and Courtney, and then Brad and Simon. And there is a web, and sometimes the webs don't connect, but that's okay because everyone openly communicates and they're okay with each other. Because the group approach is neat. There is the egalitarian approach, which is very similar to primary, only, to the hierarchical approach. Where only there is no, like, even if you have a nesting partner, you won't have the primary approach. So it's just like if I'm living with my imaginary wife and her and I don't want to have children and she wants to have children with someone else, then we would be able to discuss that kind of situation where that could be a possibility in a shared future. Because we are all there to share different experiences and create different relationships with each other. And just because I don't want to have a parenting relationship with my partner doesn't mean, like, in that situation, I would want to stop them from having that. So, and then you have solo polyamory, which is, it's honestly, I don't know how else to explain it because it sounds how it sounds. You're solo and you're being polyamorous.
It just sounds like you're single.
Yeah, it's just like
not like out to like make monogamous bonds. And I feel like I was like that for any single time that I was single.
yeah. Yeah, and like an interesting thing with these, like there's no like you don't get into, well, like someone doesn't get into a relationship and go like, I only will have a primary plus others relationship and that will be my setting for the rest of my life. No, like sometimes you get in different situations, you adapt, you meet new people, things are constantly changing, your rules are changing. So there are moments in your life where you'll be solo poly, and sometimes you'll be in a group. Sometimes you won't be. And it's just like, I like these labels for the sake of just like explaining things to people who know the terms, but being like, oh, I'm an egalitarian polyamorous person, no hierarchical. I'm just like, okay, all right. It's like good to describe, but a weird way to introduce yourself.
Like, I don't know if you're familiar with going to like munches and stuff like that. But like when there's like sort of sex parties, but they're not really parties where people are having sex. It's just munches, like, or where you go and like meet up with other people who have kinks.
Okay.
And a lot of time is like after work hours. So like, you might go to like a bar and grill. Like you just put a name tag on it, has your name on it. A lot of the time these things were like organized through like FetLife. So you'd have your FetLife name on it instead of like your actual name so that people could like figure out your like handle or avatar. But like announcing these labels is, to me, like it almost feels like just wearing like a name tag in the sense that like people know what you're about right off the top, which, it's good. Communication is key. I feel like I do it. Like my communication is a bit more natural feeling than that. I think I would use a lot more words. I guess if you want to be succinct about it and be quick and like you're trying to make a point, this is the type of like polyamorous person I am. Let's see if this will go any further. I guess these labels are helpful, but like I personally don't usually use them except for describing. It's not like, hi, nice to meet you, I'm in a hierarchical polyamorous relationship with my husband. It's not. Also, my name is Rush. Like it's just not how I talk.
Yeah. All right. That's number. Oh, we already got that one, so I'm just going to do the one underneath it. Does being polyamorous automatically make you part of the queer community?
Yes, no, obviously not. But like you could be queer adjacent, I think, if you're in a polyamorous sort of relationship. Like you could be a heterosexual person in a relationship with a queer person, and then that queer person is also like my husband's all of my husband's partners, basically every single person is like queer or like even non-binary. Like the majority of the people that my husband is with is non-binary, but my husband is straight. he's a tourist in the queer community, I would say. Maybe a mascot. You know, everyone's got a straight white mascot, right? Straight white male mascot. No, I'm so, yeah, it doesn't make you automatically a part of the queer community. That's silly. That's beans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like just they do intersect a lot because like when you have people who are open and experimental, because a lot of the time to be open with polyamory, you have a lot of like internal searching and openness that you do and you explore. So like I think that's why you have like people who, as you said, would be queer adjacent. And I like that term because it's just like I've had like I know a few people who are just like this that. Yeah. Queer adjacent. Almost queer.
Almost queer?
You're just not quite there. All right. Ooh. How do you deal with jealousy?
The same way you would deal with jealousy in a non-polyamorous relationship. You can choose not to be jealous. You can communicate with your partner about what is making you feel jealous or what is making them feel jealous. Communication, man. Talk with your faces, talk with your butts, talk with something. Just communicate.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like just because like I've had people will like I've had 2 partners say this to me where it's just I just don't feel jealousy. And I'm just like, no, like there's a difference between like acknowledging it in a healthy way, ignoring it completely, and reacting negatively. It's like there are the 3 responses of jealousy, and it's just like I don't think sucking it down and pretending it's not there is the healthiest way to go about it. But if that is people's preference with dealing with things, probably not for me.
I mean, like, I know that I don't usually feel jealous. That's not like ignoring it or hiding it. Like when I feel jealous, I will share it. But it's like, generally speaking, I do not feel jealous. And
yeah,
I think like my sister's similar in that aspect. Like we both talk about like, oh, we don't get jealous the way most people do get jealous about stuff in relationships. So,
yeah,
you know, that like it is possible to be not jealous. Now, I don't know if it's possible to be 100% not jealous just because I personally haven't experienced it. But like, that's like kind of like a weird mind view that like, if I don't experience it, then it can't be true for anyone else. I mean, I want to believe that there are people out there who are completely not jealous of other things or like other outside external stimulation.
Yeah, I guess like for me, I guess there's just like there is like a point of handling jealousy and acknowledging it, and like it just it's a very jealousy in polyamory is a weird thing because like as you said, like it's how you handle it in any relationship. But I find in the polyamorous community, there are a lot of people who act like it shouldn't exist and that it's like this toxic emotion that should be avoided at all costs. And that like if you experience jealousy, you're not good at polyamory. And it's just like, nah, just like talk about shit.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're the type of person who will get jealous very easily, by many, many things, then maybe polyamory isn't for you because it's just a bit more stress than you would want. Because it's the type of relationship where you're inviting other people into it isn't monogamous, it isn't homogenous in that way, right? So, I mean, there is that argument that if you're like the type of person who's prone to being jealous a lot, that polyamory might not be your bag, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that might be one of the main reasons why a lot of people do remain monogamous in comparison, because even if
Mhm.
they feel like they could like do their own thing, they just can't imagine their partner or partners being with other people. It's
Mhm.
it's like those like the bigamist type of Mormons.
Yeah.
Like if you ever talk to the situation, they're
Yeah.
completely fine with their wives and their sister wives being sister wives, but if you ever ask them, like, what do you think would happen if, like, your wife had multiple husbands? They're like, that's not something that I could abide. I would never be able to deal with that. I get so jealous if my sixth
Mhm.
wife had any other male partners. So, I
Yeah.
don't even know what the hell we were talking about at first. I just went down a rabbit hole.
That's okay. I think that like discussing the difference between polyamory and polygamy, which is a question, so we're just gonna oh look, there it is. So um, polygamy and polyamory are different.
Yes.
Like you can tell by the fact that they're different words, but some people confuse them still.
Yes. I've noticed that too. I'm part of this group called Subtle Asian Dating. I have not used it for dating. I've used it for promoting comedy shows that I produce, mostly, and promoting it as like a date activity for people. And I haven't even been using it that much this year because the world ended. Woo! But yeah, so I was like on there and like I made it very known. I think I made one post being like, I'm polyamorous, I am married. If people want to date or are interested in someone who has this arrangement, feel free to hit me up. Like it didn't happen because Asians are very stereotypically very reserved in that way. But I remember once someone else posting me like, how would you feel if your partner was dating someone else and this was just their lifestyle? And like the one of the admins tagged me and was like, Rush can explain and answer any questions. She's a bigamist. And it's like, I am not a bigamist. It's like, but aren't you a polygamist? I'm like, no, I'm a polyamorous person. Polygamy is illegal, which is something people don't seem to get. Yeah, so there's a difference. I'm not married to every person I date. And most of the time when you think of polygamy, it's usually one man and multiple women. It's like gendered with two genders.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be multiple genders. And it's going to be one guy who calls the shots. And it's usually religion based, usually. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, historically speaking, the history of polygamy it was outlawed because women were rationed. It was just like, oh, you're just being greedy. You're hauling over too many women, man. You got to stop because rich men were marrying too many women.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just fun trivia. Why is polyamory illegal? Because of polygamy. Why is polygamy illegal? Because of capitalism.
Right. Well, polyamory isn't illegal. Polyamory is fine.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Like legal things within polyamory, and like it's harder to get a house with multiple partners and things. It's like it's difficult to legally be polyamorous, but it's not like illegal.
I mean, like, I think instead of being married, you'd be in what's the
Common
law?
law?
Common law. That's it. So I think like you could be in like common law relationships with like multiple people. I think there's like things people have been going to court trying to raise. There's like someone trying to raise a child in like a 3-person setting, 3 parental unit setting, in a house that I saw a year ago, but I haven't been following it that well. So I don't know
Mm-hmm.
any of the ins and outs, but I know that there have been certain measures and strategies that people have been trying to make. It's just polygamy has that negative connotation with the religious aspect and like the fear of cults and stuff like that come with it.
Yeah.
I can see why people want to make that distinction. And also in the older versions of like having people being in polygamous relationships, it was really easy to abuse girls and women, especially poor, uneducated, or low educated women who are very young and being married off to like some old rich dude,
Mm-hmm.
and being kept for nefarious sexual purposes. So it's just, I don't know. I know there's like a lot. I think there are people who want to argue that polygamy should not be illegal, but like there are very huge reasons as to why it is illegal. And I don't think it's just capitalism. It's, you know, a lot of
Yeah.
factors that are just kind of scary.
Yeah, like that statement was like an oversimplified one.
Yeah, like I didn't think you personally, you know, ascribe to just that, just in case other people are watching and they're like, oh, well,
Yeah. Yeah, I do appreciate that clarification so much, because sometimes I'm sure that my silly jokes could be taken seriously, because I don't know. I've been told that I have sarcastic tone, so sometimes it just sounds like I'm serious all the time.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, my
which is
husband is like that. So it's sometimes hard to tell if he's being serious or if we're in a fight or if we're just having a conversation.
yeah, with it's a symptom of like ADHD, and like I also have like trauma and shit. So it's like to be set off or like hypersensitive to like small like an eyebrow twitch or something. So it's just like there are certain things like I won't say or do, because like while I was saying them, someone would like look away and then look over, and then I'd be like, oh God, they hate everything that I've ever said and done, and I have to delete myself. Like it's just like goes off in that big spiral. And I had a different point in bringing that up, but I don't remember, because
Well, hopefully you don't think that if I ever look away or anything. There's a dog to my right and a cat to my left and a lot of like blinky lights. And also, I don't know where to look to do one of these interviews, right? I think I'm supposed to look there, but it feels weird. I'm just looking at like a hole. And yeah, so
yeah,
please.
yeah, I again, and thank you for that clarification, because like, oh gosh, like I literally like my anxiety gets so like I told this story. I think this will be my third or fourth time telling the story on the show. But one time I was driving a couple comedians to a show, and I was just like so anxious, because I had like just got my car, like driving it, and I have really bad driving anxiety. So I'm like, everyone in this car is only focused on my driving and what I'm doing. So in my head, while I'm focusing on driving, I'm also thinking about like, okay, so my roommate is thinking about this, and then Al's thinking about this, and Ashley's thinking about this. And I'm just like, yep, this is what they're all thinking about while I'm driving, and this is what I'm also thinking about. And I'm just like, yeah, this is horrible. And it's just like no one, like they were all talking about like music and shit. Like they were not focusing on my driving. My driving is fine. And so I'm telling the story to my girlfriend, and we pass by a billboard that says like, hey, you're doing fine,
Aw.
like things are hard. And so Al Val was in the car, and their initials are AV, and the billboard was signed AV with a heart. So Al Val is making billboards for inspiration, and keep your eye out for them, because I don't know what else those billboards would be for. Weren't for me.
That's funny because when you're driving and Al's in the car and Ashley's in the car, I'm like, are these the same Al and Ashley people that I'm thinking of? Or so I guess it was the same Al for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The ones in the circle that we run in.
Yeah, there can only be one of each. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the queer community, every comedian is like Highlander. It's
Yeah. If another race showed up, we would have to battle.
yeah. Yeah. So dumb.
Only if another Lockdust showed up. If another Lockdust showed up, I'd have to throw hands. I made that name up.
Whoa, okay. I mean, if another Rush shows up, I'm assuming it's Rush Limbaugh, and we got words. Like, we're gonna fight. So, how many questions have we done?
A lot. We've also been answering a few, so I've been kind of just like crossing them as we go. So let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, so when it comes to polyamory or just relationships in general, why isn't just one person enough?
What? I mean, I don't know. That's a I don't know. That's a weird one. It's like one person could be enough. One person could be more than enough. Could be too much, and then you don't want to be with that person. You just want to be single. But sometimes you have more love to give, and sometimes you, I don't know, just need something different. It's just it's an odd question because I guess if you're like, if I have to make one person enough, you could make one person enough. But like, why? Why do you have to make
Mhm.
one person enough? How about that? Answer your question with a question. That's right. That's why I win this. That's what I'm doing now. That's what I'm sticking with right now.
Yeah, and honestly, like the I think like the um pro-monogamous counterpoint would be something along the lines of just like, well, how would your like, and it just comes back down to jealousy and not feeling enough and satisfaction in your own self-esteem of just like because like it's just like as you said like sometimes like because your needs vary and needs that people can offer you vary, so it's just like sometimes you have needs that a partner literally might not have time to fill or even the capacity to ever fulfill because different reasons. And sometimes you'll just need like it's just your needs vary, your and the things that you're given vary. And it's not a bad thing to like as you said, why does it matter? And yeah, I was trying to play like I don't even want to say devil's advocate, monogamous advocate, and I just like failed. I'm just like I'm losing interest in my own point. Yeah, I honestly for these questions I went through ask a polyamorous person on like Reddit. So so like these like that's why a lot of these are like just gross. And I'm just like that's why I'm in like such like a bitter mood towards like like I don't even want to say like towards monogamous people, but towards like anti-polyamorous people. Like I read what they say about us.
Yeah, I try to stay off Reddit. That's just not my jam.
Yeah, honestly, like I the only time I ever use Reddit is when I can't think of questions on Wednesday. So like I log into Reddit Wednesdays at like 5.
So did you log in this Wednesday at 5?
I think I got a head start, and I think it may have been 4.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and I also watched a video about polyamory, and it was just insightful and made me feel nice. It, I was just like, ah, yes, validation. Thank you. Anyway, I already got that one, and let's go. Oh, what is unicorn hunting?
Oh, okay, gross. It's just it's
Gross.
well, I mean, like if it's what I think you're talking about, it's like people who are like usually in like a usually it's like a hetero coupling, like a male and a female, out to look for the lone bisexual woman who will join them in a threesome and also not have sex with anyone else. It's like they are not in one of the main relationships. The main relationship would be the man and the woman that are looking for this unicorn. The unicorn is literally just there to serve as like weird sexual gratification, but also not be allowed to achieve their own pleasure or fulfillment. So that's why I said gross. But is that right? Are we talking about the same thing? Okay.
You got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And like with again, like there's nothing wrong with group sex. It's just all about how you go about it. Like it's one thing to be like, hey, we're a couple and like we want to have group sex because that sounds like a good time. But it's another when we're just like, hi, we are practicing dominance and we don't understand that. And we just want to completely dominate your lifestyle in a way that is very unhealthy because we don't understand what we're doing. And what we're doing is going to scar both our relationship and yours. How about
Yeah.
it?
It's like cool, come into this, but you don't get to really be in like a special place of the relationship. And if anything goes wrong, we kicked you out, and like it makes you feel bad about yourself. Like you
Yeah, and like I unicorn hunted with Kyle. And it was like that's why I was just like, you don't know what you're doing, because I didn't know what I was doing. Speaking from experience, I'm a dumbass. And it's just like we picked a friend and who was bisexual. Like we basically did all of the things that you're not supposed to do, and they're married and have a baby now, so whatever.
Oh, the unicorn and Kyle?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that worked out for them.
Yeah, and Kyle's a dick, so whatever. I just like being able to say that, because
what's that song? It's Kyle's mom's a bitch, right? From South Park.
yeah. Oh my god.
Every time you say Kyle's a dick, I think of that song, and even though I don't really know it that well.
It's in my head now. Oh my god. Kyle's mom is big fat bitch. She's the biggest bitch. Yeah. I am. Before Kyle, there was Dan, and Dan had this weird obsession with South Park, where like he was a video game developer and he was a 3D modeler. So he'd spend like 8 hours on the computer with South Park playing just like on loop all day, every day, just South Park. So I have a weird relationship with South Park, where I have it memorized, and like in theory, I don't hate it, but like, you know.
That was like me with The Simpsons, because I'm still obsessed with The Simpsons, even the newer episodes. Like I will go through and we'll rewatch the whole series just for kicks in the background. So oddly enough, happening less in quarantine now, because like I already refinished it once during the lockdown. Yeah, so it's not a weird relationship in the sense, because it seems like you don't really like South Park as much as I like Simpsons.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I guess like you and Dan had like that would say like you like, because he watched it all the time, whereas like I just kind of was present while it was playing.
Oh,
So,
it's like
I would
Star Trek: The New Generation. That's what it is. It's like I've dated a bunch of dudes who are just like, oh, I love it. I'm like, I hate it. They never go on a different planet. They say that they're on a different planet, but they're always on the damn ship. Get off the damn ship. Do something and stop going on the holodeck. It's always malfunctioning. You want to die? Then go to the holodeck. Never mind. That was my Star Trek TNG rant.
Oh, that's yeah. I hear TNG is the best, and I think it's like I haven't seen it. Like I've seen like just the original. And
the original good. Is it Discovery that you're watching now, Jeremy? Yeah, that actually is good. It has beautiful like effects and like good value, and I think it has a really high Rotten Tomatoes rating. I think the reason why so many people like TNG is because a lot of people are like our age grouping ish, millennial ish, and this was just on at a certain time, and like it like help form all these kids, because this is just what was out. But it's not good. Like, why do people think it's good? I've seen the whole series 3 times now. It is not good. Every other Star Trek series is better. Like, I will be killed by nerds later, but it's fine. I earned this death. Riker does not know how to sit down in a chair normally. Okay, like it's just not a thing. Stop going on the holodeck, like I've said 3 bajillion times. Q is gonna fuck your shit up. Don't act like he's not gonna when he does. Like there's so many things that just. Sorry, I'm just ranting now. This is nothing to do with the interview at all. It's just, I just hate that shit so much.
So great. You know what? When I did my Al Val billboard monologue again, so we'll call it even. Is like, while I do know that there are people who regularly tune in, the only person I know for sure who watches it live every week, aside from my supportive partners, is my cousin. And I just imagine like she's referenced it, like she's just like probably so sick of this fucking Al Val story. And I'm just like, everyone else is probably just like, oh yes, because I slightly tune in, it's endearing. And because she's just like a caring and supportive person, she's probably just being driven crazy. And I said that out loud live because I just want her to feel seen.
Hello, cousin.
She's not going to be here tonight because I referenced her.
Oh, you're doing the whole like fuck, I forget what it's called now. You know, you butter your toast, it falls down, it's always gonna fall on the buttered side. Fuck.
Oh, fuck.
No, not superstition. I know the word fucking superstition. It's like a term for this sort of shit.
Not
Murphy's
Darwin.
Law.
Oh my God. Murphy's Law.
I got it.
I helped.
You did
She
not
is
help.
here. My
Hello,
cousin's here.
Megan.
Oh, I'm so glad. All right, and I rolled, so we are on. I think we have two. Oh, wait, no, we answered that one. I didn't cross that out. Oops. Let me actually see. Are we?
Are we done? Did we do it in an hour? Did it happen?
We did it. We did 55 minutes and 13 seconds. Thank you very much.
Woo! I was so worried it was going to be 90 minutes. Okay.
Oh.
For anyone listening, Megan, by the way, this is right before this interview happened. I asked Ray maybe a couple hours before how long this was going to go, because I was thinking like 5 to 10, 20 minutes max. And I get, like 40 minutes to 90 minutes. I'm like, that's the length of a feature-length movie. That's a movie, and we do not have production value at my house. We have this red light and a bunch of paintings I did while I was high. Like, it's not... I'm like, how do you keep them interested in this? So I'm glad that we did it. Glad we did it within an hour.
Mm-hmm. We just
I'm
have to be good at talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for enduring the 55 minutes, especially when you went in expecting it to be 40 minutes less than it was.
I could just start asking people right off the top how long it's supposed to be. I was just like, what time? Okay, cool. You're going to ask me questions? I don't need to prep. It's fine. It's like, oh, man, 90 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm glad. And I hope our viewers feel it. Yeah, so unless you want to go over your amazing art in the back, we can close off on any thoughts on polyamory.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, let's see if I can. Oh, I figured out which side is what. All right, so that painting, the red one right there, is called Shit on TV. It's a television with a poop on it. It's the one underneath that right there is made by my boobs. Those are two giant boobs. And then there's handprints because my hands were covered in paint. I had to wipe it somewhere. This over here is a bunny that I saw in a nightmare/dream. All these paintings are too far away for you to see how creepy or gross they are, but they're all those things. Yeah.
I believe you. All right. With that amazing surprise art gallery. And you said we didn't have production value.
I mean, the only thing I had in my production value were these paintings I did while high.
And you made it work. Yeah. I have a nightmare painting too, and I was like while you were talking, I'm like, oh, should I run and grab my nightmare painting? And then I remembered I painted a nude portrait over it while I was. I was just like, I don't need this canvas. So now I have this like really nice nude portrait.
Nice.
Yeah. I screwed up the face. So first I did the face and I was like, I don't like it. So I took a picture of it and then I painted over it. And now I just I can't get it. So now it's headless.
Trying to see if we can angle towards my nude painting. It's above the gay birds. You can't tell that it's nude though.
It is a shadow.
It's very naked. You just can't tell.
Yeah.
Also, do you see our command center back here? Look at all these computers. There's like 14 screens there. There's only 2 people who live here. We don't need this many screens. This doesn't even count our televisions or our phones or the one I'm using right now. Sorry, there was no reason for any of this. But yes.
That's okay. Yeah, there's no reason for anything. Time is pointless.
Yeah. All pointless. Thanks for watching. My Roomba just started. Did you hear that? That was my Roomba. There's only 2 people who live here, and we still have a robot vacuum cleaner.
Because we're living in the future, and you have that option. That's awesome. Yeah. So I will This has been Serious and So. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening to us talk about not as much sex as you'd think. Talking about polyamory, it's almost like that's not. And we were already there for this. We went there. We thank you for enduring and appreciating and enjoying our conversation. And
Bye.
yeah, you are all loved, appreciated, and as always, remember,